After torrential rains produced flooding in Valencia, Spain, firefighters had to free people who were stranded in their vehicles and homes. Travel to the well-known vacation spots were hampered by the temporary closure of the airports and the halting of trains. The eastern portion of Spain has flooded before. In May, the region again experienced record rains. This year, the record-breaking rainfalls on Spain's east coast have twice fallen victim to climate change. May saw significant impacts on the neighboring regions of Alicante and Castellón as well. In addition, a team of ambulance workers had to be extricated from their vehicles as roads and public transportation came to a complete stop.
Però jo no havia conegut tanta olla en tan poc de temps mai en la vida. Mira que ja tinc 64 anys, però ha sigut per de més. Però bueno, diuen que el que no és millor que plogui ni que sequia.
The challenging year not only saw record rains, but also heatwaves that swept throughout Europe and stoked the flames that broke out in Portugal, France, and Spain in July of this year. Numerous fires were put out in Portugal by almost 3,500 firefighters as various regions of the country experienced record-breaking heat. A wildfire on the Datça Peninsula in southwest Turkey forced the evacuation of over 3,000 residents. Spain had experienced losses as a result of the July wildfires. For instance, a 50-year-old guy called Angel Martin Arajna is seen barely escape a wildfire in Tabara, northwest Spain, in the dramatic footage. He was constructing a trench to prevent the fire from spreading to his town when the flames suddenly engulfed him, forcing him to run. He had significant burns and was rushed to the hospital, a family friend told Reuters. Because of climate change, heat waves are becoming more common, more intense, and stay longer. Since the start of the industrial age, the planet has warmed by around 1.1 degrees Celsius. And now, the floods brought on by the record-breaking rains in Spain are serving as a wake-up call for world leaders to take additional action to stop the catastrophic effects of climate change and rescue the planet. The leaders of the globe must collaborate on this just cause, not act separately as different nations. Joe Biden, while addressing during the COP27 summit held in Egypt this month, said the U.S. sees its mission to avert climate catastrophe as not only an imperative but through the eyes of history. During his 20-minute speech, the U.S. president said the very life of the planet was at stake in the climate crisis.
We see our mission to avert climate catastrophe and seize a new clean energy economy not only as an imperative for our present and future, but through the eyes of history. According to the World Meteorological Organization, the past 8 years have been the warmest on record. In the United States, we're seeing historic drought and wildfires in the West, devastating hurricanes and storms in the East. Here in Africa, home to many nations considered most vulnerable to climate change, food insecurity. Hunger follows 4 years of intense drought in the Horn of Africa. Meanwhile, the Niger River in West Africa, swollen because of more intense rainfall, is wreaking havoc on fishing and farming communities. In Nigeria, flooding has recently killed 600 people. 1.3 million more are displaced. Seasonal livestock migration routes have been used for hundreds of years, are being altered, increasing the risk of conflict between herders and local farming communities. The climate crisis is about human security, economic security, environmental security, national security, and the very life of the planet.
About 200 countries are negotiating next steps on cutting the emissions that cause global warming.